Ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to report that the 2027 GMC Sierra internal combustion engines will not look like this. And that does include the rear tail lights. Now I am here at Seiner GMC, and I actually did something similar to the Chevy store, and I want to do the same thing for them. So Frank told me he wanted to offer up 10 spots, special pricing for the upcoming GMC Sierra 2027 model year trucks. If you want special pricing, he says he's going to do probably either 10 or 20 spots. It just depends on how quickly they come in. So be sure to text the number down below. Let's go ahead and check out what they have changed for this upcoming Sierra internal combustion engine.
So we're gonna do something a little different. Normally I like to read off some stuff off the websites, but you know, we'll touch on some of the updates here in a second, but let's just jump into it. Here is the 2027 GMC Sierra Denali Ultimate. Now this truck is vastly different from the outgoing. The cabs look to be a carryover. I'm sure the beds are gonna be a carryover. That's something we've been seeing because it costs so much, obviously, to redesign all of it. So because the cabs are bigger, because the beds are a decent size and height, and obviously length, they're just sticking to that design, just changing it up a little bit. But on the front end, as I said earlier, those headlights, they're not my favorite, but they're not terrible. What do you guys think about those headlights? They're definitely similar to the EV, but not the same. I've been liking how they've been integrating those fog lights, however, especially like on the Chevy Silverado. And you guys see on that lower part of the bumper, that grille has those vertical lines with the horizontal at the top. Very similar to what Ram has done too, right? 22-inch wheels look decent. Fender flares, very, very bold design with that. And they really make the truck look buffer. So I'm glad we're seeing some of this. Now I don't see that side vent. You guys remember on the Fender, I don't see that they're doing a side vent unless they're gonna do something on the hood. They have the clearance lights on the fender flares. The running boards look to be the same design as the ones they have now. They're just black now, which I'm really happy by. And I think that this is definitely interesting. I'm not sure if I love it, but I think the Chevy is really where I'm really seeing the success here, guys. Just be honest here. Here's that grille one more time. Now let's go ahead and check out every trim level, starting with the Pro. I found these pictures, so I figured I'll show it to you. So that's the work truck model, starting it off. And of course, this truck's gonna have standard premium lighting. It doesn't have fog lights on this trim level. It has the clearance lights on the fender flares still. And look at that hood, you can see that hood. So that's where they're putting the, I guess the badging now on the hood. Just like the HD trucks, they're doing that same design. The bumper, I think that bumper looks really aggressive. That looks to have front parking sensors on the work truck model. Now up next is the elevation trim level. This looks like a Denali to me, or maybe even an AT4. Now let's zoom in a little bit. You guys notice they haven't really painted the fender flares on the Pro model, nor this one. But you guys see that bumper? It looks like it has like a matted finish and a painted like center part there. Looks to have adaptive cruise control in the center of the bumper there. And fog lights have made their way onto this one. Headlights look to be the same. Let's go back real quickly to that work truck model. Yeah, the headlights look the same on both of these models here. But overall, this one does have what looks to be the same running boards too. Nice wheel design. I would say those are definitely a home run. Up next is the AT4. I am showing this on my phone, by the way, too, you probably can tell. This AT4, you can tell it has a little bit more of a lifted stance. I would also say the wheels on this look drastically better than the current truck. It also has the vertical tow hooks, so they're up and down versus side to side. And that's pretty much what they've done on the past trucks too. You don't really see any skid plates on this one. We have black mirror caps. Again, you can see on the hood there, we can't really see what it says, but they definitely have something on the hood versus on the side of the fender. Obviously, this is the most popular trim level, the AT4X. Even if it's not in sales, it's just people love this truck. And yeah, 18-inch wheels, 35-inch tall tires. I'm sure the AT4 is going to have the 34s like the Trail Boss. And this grille looks pretty bold. You guys see how they do the tow hooks, right? So on AT4X, they're horizontal, AT4, they're vertical. I'm not sure why they did that, but the bumpers look different, obviously, which is how it is now. Love the wheel design. I think those wheels definitely work well. Also, another picture of the X. Now, really quickly, I want to show you guys something because this is going to be something that we're going to talk about here in a second. But notice this picture here. This is the AEV edition. So we have not seen this yet for the Silverado, but GMC has already unveiled what it's going to look like. You can see the black door handles. You guys also notice, I didn't notice this earlier, but the hood is totally different from the other trucks, a little bit more bolder. What do you guys think about that? I don't know if I even like that right now. Maybe I have to see it in person, but right now it doesn't look good from this view. But on that bumper, they have restyled the AEV edition bumper. The recovery hooks look a little bit more of my style. I like the silver accent on those versus it's all black. You can also see some of the skid plates down below, 35-inch tall tires. Now, as far as the wheels go, we're not sure if they're gonna keep the wheels the same. So I don't know, this is just a prototype truck for now, but I'm glad that we have a chance to see what this truck looks like. But now let's go ahead and read about some of the changes for this pickup. Now, most of you know that this is an early look at the GMC Sierra for 2027. So we don't have all the specs, but be sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure your bell notifications are on. That way you don't miss an upload, okay? Now, obviously you guys have seen the exterior. Let's go ahead and just skip past the exterior for now and talk about the powertrain. So most of you guys know that just like the Chevy Silverado, we're gonna be getting an enhanced TurboMax. The 3-liter diesel is returning for 2027. Now, they don't have any updates on it yet, but we do know that the TurboMax will get a 10-speed transmission behind it, which will point to different gearing options in the axle. Now, we're also replacing the 5.3 and the 6.2 in the Sierra. So that's a good thing too. A lot of people have been complaining about the 6.2 because of the reliability issues, and GM has been blaming that on suppliers. So hopefully this points to better reliability and better V8 power and longevity. So we're going to be replacing that 5.3 with a 5.7. I say we are, like I'm doing anything. They are going to be replacing the 5.3 with the 5.7 and replacing the 6.2 with the 6.6 gas engine. Now, we don't know if this is port and direct injection, but based off of what I've seen from the 6.7 Corvette engine, is most likely going to be direct injection with cylinder deactivation, unfortunately. Now, it does go on to say that the 5.7 liter and the 6.6 liter V8 engines incorporate advances in combustion, cooling, and control systems. I don't like that control systems. You know what that really means. That enhance refinement and performance while reinforcing Sierra's on and off-road durability. A new fuel injection system helps optimize power, torque, and overall performance across a wide range of driving scenarios, from daily driving to rock crawling and towing. The Sierra 1500 lineup will also feature an enhanced TurboMax, and we already talked about that. And of course, the diesel will be coming back our way. And as I said, 10-speed behind all the engines currently. Let's talk about this interior next. The very first photo I'm going to show you is of a Chevy interior. Now, the reason why I'm showing this to you is because GMC normally uses this interior for the lower trim levels. So if you're looking at a Pro model, maybe even the Elevation model, and potentially even the AT4 will have this interior, okay? Now, here is the new interior. They have over 60 inches of screens in this truck. That is insane. Now, this interior is going to be used in either the Denali Ultimate or the AT4X. It's just going to look a little different. Obviously, this is most likely the Ultimate Denali. But you guys see that passenger screen? That is just hitting right now. Now, GM does have where the center screen does pop up and hides some storage behind it. That is pretty cool. The passenger side screen is like 11.5 inches. So it is huge. And it does have a drop down too, so the whole screen is not always showing. And I think that looks pretty cool. I think that they did a pretty good job with that. This interior, if I did not know this was a GMC, I would have said this looks like a Cadillac. That is what it looks like. Now you guys see there is no gear selector on the center console. They have put that up on the column, which I like. There also looks to be a clock, and that's a push button start. So right next to the steering wheel at the very top there, that looks to be the start stop button there. Overall, the interior for this truck looks pretty amazing. Super Cruise for Denali Ultimate will give you a 3-year subscription. And that is something that I'm actually interested in testing maybe in the future, because they're now saying you can tow a trailer with their Super Cruise. And that is kind of scary. I'm going to show you guys the AT4X interior here. What you guys will see, it's going to have the larger screens just like the Denali Ultimate. It's going to have that hidden storage behind that center stack. Also, it's going to have that passenger screen, and it has that drop down, and it actually makes the screen, I guess, come to life, as you want to call it maybe. It's going to have a 16-inch Bose premium sound system just like the Denali Ultimate. Twin panel moonroof is going to be there as well. So GM is checking a lot of the boxes that kind of held them back in the past. And that is where this new Sierra is going to really clean up, in my opinion, especially against the Ford, Ram, and Toyota pickup. So that is what's really nice about this truck. Now I'm going to show you guys the exterior. Now, when I first saw this truck, the front end of the AT4X looks a little weird to me. I'm going to show you guys a photo here because this is where I first saw it. This is the first photo I guess I should say I saw when I saw this pickup. But notice how the headlights don't look right with that off-road bumper. I don't know what it is, but it's throwing me off. Like it's like the top of it on the front is too wide, and it just kind of goes down like to like a V. So it doesn't look right to me. Maybe it'll look better in person. I don't really like the mirror designs. I saw this on the Chevy Silverado and I thought about it, but now that I see it again, the mirrors look, hopefully they're not smaller, but they look a little odd to me. And I think that the AT4X just doesn't really hit it out of the park like I was hoping. Now I will say, I do like the AT4. One more time, I'll show you guys that photo here. The AT4 definitely looks a little bit better. And maybe it's because of the bumper design, like how it cuts off, because obviously that's going to help with approach angle, ground clearance, etc. But I don't know, maybe because of the front end design, the off-road bumper does not work well on the AT4X. So maybe, just maybe, that AEV edition might be the ticket. Like if I were in the market for this half ton, that's probably the truck I would go after there. So, and if you look at this AT4X AEV edition, do you guys notice it doesn't look like you'll be able to get a winch in this front bumper, but I could be wrong. You know, we're just kind of looking at a prototype truck. So hopefully we'll get more details on this thing. I'm really excited to see it in person. I think that overall, the new Sierra is definitely a home run for the interior. The exterior, I don't know if I'm like, I don't know, the Silverado is the ticket for the exterior. And I wish that Chevy and GMC were not like in the same like family, because I always see the Chevy Silverado as the entry level luxury. Like when you get up to like the, I guess now we don't have LTZ anymore, but when you get up to the high country trim level, and I'm sure that the Silverado trim that they will have like a luxury convenience package of some sort. But when you get up to those, you don't get a lot of the niceties that you see on the GMC Sierra. Like we're not gonna get a 16 speaker Bose in the Silverado. And just like as I said earlier, you're gonna get a standard layout on the Silverado for the GMC trim levels from Pro up to maybe like the Elevation. And then GMC gets the more premium interior feel that you cannot get in the Silverado. Of course, massage seats, I'm sure they're gonna carry that over for this truck. You also have just larger screens, things like that. Of course, the camera rearview mirror is gonna still be there. I just think that I wish that Chevy and and GMC were not in the same family. I think that it would really help Chevy to really be able to compete better. And I feel as though GMC is holding it back because I don't really love the GMC Sierra. I'm just being honest here. Seeing it now, I don't love it. But obviously because of what I have a GMC Sierra. I'd still buy it if I were in the market because of the nice features that I can get. So hope this was helpful. I have to do a comparison with the Silverado and Sierra interior because I want to show them side by side. This is definitely interesting. I think that GMC did kill it on the interior. If you're looking at the Denali Ultimate, oh my gosh, they are vastly better than what they have now. And what they have now is amazing. So this is just ticking it up like 2 or 3 notches in my book. So maybe as time goes, we'll see more pictures of this truck and it'll grow on me. But right now, the exterior of the AT4X has got me on the fence for sure.